Good morning, Lisa Eaton. How are you?
Good morning, Dirk. I'm doing very well. I love your
Good.
Garfield behind you.
It just so happens that he and I are from the same general area in Indiana. It's
Oh,
an autographed by Jim Davis.
oh, how cool is that? That is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Oh,
Garfield is from Fairmount,
yours.
Indiana, along with the old movie star James Dean,
Mm-hmm.
and just a stone's throw from where I'm from. Morning, Esther.
Good morning. Go Hoosiers.
Go Hoosiers, that's right. Well, good morning. Welcome to another installment of the Toolkit. Tools and tactics for business success. This morning, the topic will be how to do business in St. Cloud with City Business Navigator Shereka Robinson. We'll get to her in just a second. Right now, we want to thank our sponsors, of course, the City of St. Cloud, Osceola County, OUC, the reliable one, Oscar, the Osceola County Realtors, and Toho Water Authority. Also, please put on your calendar April 22nd. Joe Riley of OUC will be with us. He is also our chamber board chair, and he is the director of operational technology for OUC. And the topic will be cybersecurity, what lurks in your data closet. And there's a lot of discussion on that topic these days. And with everything going on, it is pretty important. All right, so let's get right to the topic because that's what you're here for. I want to introduce to you Shereka Robinson, the city business navigator. She works out of the city manager's office, and we're looking forward to seeing what she's got to tell us about how to do business in the city of St. Cloud. Good morning, Shereka.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Go ahead and
Go right ahead.
share my screen now. Okay.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Can everyone see my screen? Yes, everyone can see it? Thumbs up? Yes? Okay,
Yes, good.
awesome. Awesome. Okay, so now doing business in St. Cloud is one of the fastest growing cities in Central Florida. So we're very excited to let everyone and everybody know that St. Cloud is open for business. So please come to St. Cloud and start your business, right? So to do that, we want to make it a little bit easier for new and prospective businesses to know that we're open for business and we're here ready to assist them with the process. Now, the city has a few resources to help business owners. The first resource is myself, the business navigator. I serve as a concierge service to help prospective, new or expanding businesses successfully complete the application process. I know that sometimes it can be daunting. It's already overwhelming enough starting a business on your own, but to think about going through the process of applying for everything that you will need to start your business can be additionally overwhelming. So our city manager, Veronica Miller, it was her idea to start this position to help those business owners to make it easier for them to start your business in St. Cloud. Another resource is our business response team. That team is comprised of the city manager's office. We respond to these requests within 24 hours. So whatever issues you're having with your business, if you've run into a roadblock trying to figure something out, if you've been in contact with the different departments and you're not getting the responses that you need in a timely manner, please think about using the business response team. Request, it's on our website under my page, under the Business Navigator page. Once you complete this application, you're able to choose whichever department, whatever issue you're having, and I will respond to you within 24 hours, or a member of my team will respond within 24 hours to assist you and advocate for you with the other departments. Now, if you choose to bypass the previous processes because you're a novice at this. You're already a business owner. You pretty much already have an idea of what you would like your business to look like. We would still like for you to do a process call or a pre-application meeting. The pre-application meeting is essentially a free review with our development review committee. In this meeting, it's a 30-minute meeting, and it happens every 2 weeks on Thursdays. You will get the opportunity to present your business idea, to present if you'd like to make any renovations, if you'd like to do anything to the exterior, whatever big idea that you come up with. The development review committee is there to give you a free review and feedback about the zoning, as well as any information that you may have not thought of. So it's always suggested to please do a pre-application meeting. The link is also on our website, so that you can get that feedback, so that there won't be any surprises later on once you decide to open your business. For your convenience, there are applications and payments. Everything can be done on our website now. We've updated our system. You can apply for you can submit your applications online as well as submit payment. So, to save time, you don't have to come down to City Hall whenever you need to handle business as far as submitting applications or payments anymore. All right. So when starting your business, not just in St. Cloud, but anywhere else, you are expected to do some legwork first. To an extent, the city will assist you with some of that legwork. Or economic development department, we will assist. I work with them quite a lot. We assist with your property research, which is very important. We assist with, helping you with any financial assistance that is available to qualifying businesses. And then we will also give you contact information or a contact person for you to contact with getting your federal employer identification numbers, getting registered with Sunbiz, because that's a requirement for us. You must be registered with Sunbiz, as well as getting you in contact with the different state license departments that you, depending on your business model or your business type. Now, the most important part of starting your business in St. Cloud is the location. It's about the location, because the location determines your zoning rules. As you can see from our map here, it's very pretty, and each color represents a different zoning. Why is this important? Most important part of this is that you found the perfect location. We need to first find out if it's in the commercial zone, if it's industrial zone, or is it residential zone. This is the most important part of your business startup process. It's location, location, location. We need to, based on the location, we can find out if it's a permitted use. We can find out what the parameters of the zoning district are. So it's very important that before you even think about signing a lease, before you think about signing your contract, it's best practice to contact the city first, contact me first, so that I can definitely take a look at the zoning information for your business, so that I can tell you if it's allowed, or if it is allowed but conditionally. So there are actually three things. It's either it's allowed, it's not permitted, or it's allowed conditionally. Allowed conditionally just means that it will require city council approval. They have the last say on whether your business will be permitted in that location or not. Okay, so I said location is very important. We have a lot of people coming into St. Cloud right now starting businesses, so they aren't familiar with differentiating the different tax districts. And it's very important as a business owner for you to understand the tax district differences, because it will determine how your business will operate. So for example, take these two addresses on your screen. They're both in the city of St. Cloud. They have different zip codes, but looking at it, you would think, okay, I'm going to start my business in St. Cloud. That means I need to contact the city of St. Cloud City Hall so that I can find out what I need to find out to start my business, right? No, not necessarily correct. Because in Osceola County, we have about 3 different tax districts. The city of St. Cloud, 100 is our code, is our tax district code. Osceola County's code is 300, and the city of Kissimmee's code is 250. There are other variations. Sometimes I've seen where Osceola County, some of them are like 350, and I've seen other variations for Kissimmee also like 200. But this is basically what the codes are. 100 is city of St. Cloud, Osceola County 300s, and the city of Kissimmee in the 200s. So why is this important? This is important, and let's see. So when anyone comes into our offices or call into our offices, the first thing we ask you for is the address that you're thinking of putting your business. That's the very first question. What is the address? And this is why. Okay, so for example, this first address, once you type this address into Property Appraiser, I'll see the Property Appraiser, it will show you what the tax district is. I have it highlighted here in green. So this address is in 100, it's in St. Cloud. So therefore we can proceed with finding out what it's zoned and then also figure out what the zoning is for that property. On the other hand, you have the other address also says City of St. Cloud. However, the tax district is 300. It's in the county. So automatically, we won't waste your time. We will tell you you will need to contact the county to find out what your allowances will be to start your business. Even though your address says City of St. Cloud, all your services will be provided by the county. Okay, now when you're starting your business, you're also thinking about 2 ways to do so. It's either you're going to find a vacant lot, or you're going to find an already occupied lot and you're going to build, or you're going to redevelop, meaning you're just going to move in and do a few renovations. When you're doing a new construction, you have to go through our entire development process. Again, you start the pre-application meeting. After your pre-application meeting, then you move on to a site development plan. After your site development plan, let me mention, your site development plan may be a mini, it might be a major, or it might be a minor. It just depends on what you're planning to do. But of course, if you're building from the ground up, foundational and all, it's going to be a full site development plan. If you're just going to be adding a parking area outside or covering a patio, I've seen where that is just simply a mini site development plan. So it takes, the difference between the two is just the review times. Once your site development plan is approved with the Community Development Department, you receive an approval letter. Once you receive your approval letter, you then apply for a pre-construction meeting with the Public Works Department. And the Public Works Department, at the end of that review, issues you a notice to proceed. After you've gotten your notice to proceed, then you may apply for your building permits. Once your building is up and all your inspections and everything have been done, then you are issued a certificate of occupancy by the building department. Now, this is just a brief summary chart of how the development process works. So on the left, you start off by submitting your applications to the Development Review Committee, the Development Review Coordinator, sorry. Then once it's accepted, then it's reviewed for sufficiency. Once it's reviewed for sufficiency, you are notified that your application is good to go and you can go ahead and submit your payments. Once the payment has been received, then your project is distributed for review. Your project will be reviewed by the Development Review Committee. If there are any comments or anything that you need to address, you will be notified so that you can make those corrections, and then it's redistributed to the Development Review Committee for approval. Once it's approved, again, you receive your approval letter. Okay, so the other option, again, as I said before, is redevelopment. If you found the perfect location for your business and you think to yourself, you call me and say, Shereka, this is it. There's no other place. This is the perfect place where I think my business will go. The first thing I'll check again is the zoning to make sure that it's a permitted use. Sometimes it's easier as for the business owner, if you find a location where the previous tenant or the previous business is similar to yours. If it's similar, then you are more than likely okay to go ahead and just apply straight for your business tax receipt and your certificate of use. If not, then you may need to go through a change of use process. Because, for example, if the location used to be a restaurant, and now you as the new tenant, your business idea is to be a yoga studio. Those are different uses. So therefore, you'd have to go through the change of use process, which is about a 2-week process, so that the new use of this location can be supported. Okay, so this is just to go in a little bit more detail about the change of use process and the conditional use process. Okay, so as I was saying before, with the change of use process, so our land development code identifies the following uses as automatically requiring a change of use review, but are not limited to just these categories. So automobile, all subservices, assembly, including places of worship, childcare, restaurant, industrial, gymnastic, health, spa facilities, pet grooming, pawn shops. They automatically trigger a change of use process. And also the impact, let me mention as well, impact fees may be assessed if the new use is of a higher intensity than the previous use. So that's something to keep in mind. One of your reviewers in the development review committee process is our impact fee specialist. So you will have an idea, or you will be told during the pre-application meeting what your impact fees will be once you start your business. Now, as I was saying before about the conditional use process, the conditional use process is, again, it's a permitted use, but it needs the approval of city council. So it goes to 2 public hearing meetings. It goes to a planning commission meeting, 1, and it goes to the city council meeting who renders the final approval. Okay, so after you've gone through whichever process is required based on your zoning, based on the zone on the location, you are then required to apply for a business tax receipt, and you also need to apply for a certificate of use. The business tax receipt is required whether you are a home-based business or a brick and mortar. The certificate of use is also required, and you have a new business inspection with that process, as well as a yearly fire inspection. Now, if you intend to place any signage, of course, you want to place signages on your business, you will need to apply for a sign permit. There are 2 different types of permits. So, and they're both done by one by the community development department and one by the building department. If you're doing a monument sign, it's going to require monument sign, meaning a sign out front that has your business name and everything. That's going to require a permit. Just to put the sign on the front of your building, or to put, sorry, I just had a brain miss, on the windows, not decals. Why do I always forget the names of those? The window signs. If you want to put window signs on your front of your building, you will also need to apply for permits for those. Okay. Now, again, here's my contact information. On the Business Navigator page, there are links to the different resources, as well as information that may be helpful to you on your business journey. And then we also offer a St. Cloud Business Startup Guide. It was just recently updated. It has links to all the departments, all the information about what to expect when applying for your permits for your business. There are links to our zoning maps. There are links to the outside community partners. There are links to the entities that may be beneficial to your business. So I would suggest also that just looking over that business startup guide, the links are available on our website. It's both in English and Spanish. And it's a fountain of information and resources that I think would definitely be helpful to your business startup. And if all else fails, you can always give me a call or you can send me an email, and I'm sure to respond within 24 hours. And that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Shereka. That was some great information, actually. Really good. Very informative.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Does anyone have any questions
Any
for
questions?
Shereka?
Yes,
So I can-
good morning. I
Go
have
ahead.
a couple, I have a few questions. Thank you, Shereka. Great information, really love the detail. And just a few clarifying questions that I have. One is, where does agriculture fit into the zoning designations? Because I saw you had commercial, industrial, and residential.
So agriculture is its own zoning designation. So because of St. Cloud at one point had so much farmland, there are still some vacant parcels in St. Cloud that are still zoned agriculture. If you've been following our city council meetings and everything, you'll see that a lot of the zones have changed, or we have new owners that are purchasing the lands, the properties, and they are rezoning them. We're going through a rezoning right now. We've recently updated our zoning, I should say. So a lot of the properties that were zoned agriculture, you'll find that some of them are being rezoned to commercial or residential as new homes are being built or making space for new industrials. So it's just one of the zoning designations that I see it's dwindling.
Okay. But if somebody was interested in starting an ag-related business, would they be classified? Would that be sort of on a case-by-case basis, or would they go for an industrial? What would they go under?
Okay, so if you are looking to start an agriculture business, I would say your first job would be finding a parcel that's already zoned agriculture. Based on our zoning map right now, there aren't much, I would say, land. Let me just take a quick look again. Unless it's a parcel that has not been zoned. So for example, if it's a parcel that's currently zoned agriculture in the county, and you would like to be annexed into the city with keeping the same zoning for agriculture, let me not say we, because I don't make the final decision, but more than likely we would support that, because I've seen in the past where I've seen where property owners that are currently zoned in the county, they are annexed into the city, and we allow them to keep the same designation of agriculture. So that would be your first step, to find that property that's already zoned agriculture. And then we move on from there, and you can give me a call. We can simply do a quick call, and before we do a pre-application meeting, and then you can find out as far as information from Public Works, if you're doing anything on site, because they will probably require you to do a site development plan. And you also want to hear from planning and zoning divisions, just to make sure that whatever you're deciding to do on your business on that parcel will not affect the surrounding neighbors or parcels.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. And then I know it's going to be different for everyone, but could you give us like a rough timeline of the city development process, how long it could roughly take?
Oh, sure. Okay, so on paper, the development process should take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Now, 3 to 6 months is not including resubmittals. Once you throw resubmittals into the pot, then it's possible that it depends on how long it takes you to respond with the information required. But once your application is submitted to us, it goes to a sufficiency period, which is a week. 1 week for sufficiency, and in that 1 week, at the end of that sufficiency period, you're advised to go ahead and submit your payment. Once we receive your payment, once we receive notification of your payment, then it moves on to where it's submitted to the Development Review Committee. The review period for your first review is 2 weeks. At the end of those 2 weeks, the Development Review Committee sends to our development coordinator the reviews on your project. If everything, I have yet to see a perfect submittal. I will be honest and tell you that I have yet to see a perfect submittal that the Development Review Committee has no issues with. There's always something to fix, something that needs to be updated to match our code. So once those reviews come into the coordinator, she then sends a combined comment to you. Now, you decide how long, and I will always tell my applicants, try to respond as soon as possible. Don't sit on it for too long, because the longer you take to respond, remember, we have more applications coming in while I'm waiting for you to respond. So the sooner you respond to those comments, the better. Once we receive your resubmittal, it's redistributed to the DRC committee. Again, it goes for another 2-week review. At the end of that 2-week review, if the Development Review Committee said, oh, you know what, this is perfect, good, she responded to everything that we wanted to address, it's good. Okay. Once the coordinator receives that response back from the committee, then you are issued a approval letter within 5 days. So yes, it's about 3 to 6 months for application process.
Thank you for walking us through that. And I have one more question, if I may.
Sure. Yes, go ahead.
Great. Impact fees. Can you just give us a quick overview into what goes into consideration for setting impact fees?
So that's a tricky one, and I will tell you honestly, I don't have the answer to that. We have an impact fee coordinator that handles that information. What I can do, her name is Erin Burnett. And she does the calculations. I always send everyone her way as soon as I'm asked any questions about impact fees. And I don't want to give you any wrong information, so I will tell you that I can point you in the right direction. For Erin Burnett, she's in the Community Development Department. And I can also send that information over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. And can we get a copy of your presentation?
Of course. Of course. Dirk, would you like me to email it to you and you email it to everyone?
Yes, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Shereka.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other questions?
Very good. Well, Shereka, thank you for sharing with us today. Business Navigator's Office is an important first step in navigating City Hall. One of the things that your chamber membership helps you with as well is if for some unknown reason there might be a misunderstanding, you might not be able to grasp what is expected of you. You can make an appointment with me. I in turn make an appointment with Shereka or somebody at City Hall, and I will actually come with you. Why do I come with you? Just an extra set of eyes and ears. And I like to learn too what you're working on. And also down to when you come to City Hall, if you haven't been there very often, well, where is this office? Where is it located? Where are the elevators? I actually walk you through that, take you to the elevator, hit the button, and go with you. So it's just kind of just to put you at ease. We like to tell our friends at City Hall that you all have the greatest home court advantage in the city, because that building can be a little complicated to get around at times. And so that's what your chamber membership can do there. So we want to thank Shereka for taking the time to do a great presentation for us. It was very succinct. It was very detailed, though, at the same time, and we loved that. Thank you, ma'am, for the time you put into it. Yes, if you will send me that that presentation, we'll be happy to share that with you. Also, then we want you to know one last thing here, and that is, don't forget, April 22nd, 9 o'clock, we'll have Joe Riley, our board chair from OUC, and he will be doing a presentation on cybersecurity, what works in your data closet. Let me tell you this man knows his stuff. During his time as the chair, which is about halfway through his term, he has helped us clear out our data closet of things that were unnecessary, turn us on to some other technologies. And so small business, large business, it doesn't matter. Joe will have some things that you might find applicable to what you're doing. So join us again April 22nd for the Toolkit Business Training Series. Thank you for attending. Shereka, again, thank you for your time, and we will see you soon at another chamber event. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.